Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And we're back with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. And today we will be reviewing the whole entire Archangel family, all right? Now, I've been playing the game since it came out, so it's been out for a little over a month now. And I figured now is a good time to get a head start on the monster review so that way we can have a video for every single unit in the game for you guys to help you out. And I'm going to start with the Archangels today and then just kind of move down the list. And the nice thing about it is they haven't actually came out with too many champions just yet. So like I said, we can get a head start on it. So let's just go ahead and start with the Fire Archangel here today. And this is Archangel. It's actually the one that I built, or I pulled myself. And he has a couple unique skills, but mostly for all the families, they have like the same first basic attack, and then they have a couple different variations of all three of the other skills. And I'll kind of go over how to build each one of them and where they might be good, and kind of just give you guys like a whole rundown of every single unit in the game in this series. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as we get into it, okay? So as I said though, Sacred Spear, it's the same skill for all of the other Archangels. There's nothing that changes here. It's nice because it's every 8th attack, basically, it becomes empowered and it removes all of the debuffs on a single nearby ally. I know a lot of people kind of got into the idea where it's removing buffs from the enemies, but it's not. It's more of like a cleanse of your own team, okay? It's still really nice though to have. Now the second skill, Retribution, the other Archangels also have a similar skill where they jump to a location, but the Fire one is the only one out of the regular elements that actually adds a buff as well, which is the damage reflection buff. And that's really nice when you jump in and people are attacking you. They're actually going to be damaging themselves. It doesn't like actually hurt them too much, but it is just added damage, okay? Now the second skill here, Aegis, this one is one of two different skills between all of the Archangels, and you can either get the shield or you get the invulnerability buff, okay? Now the shield is probably the weaker of the two, I would say, since invulnerability is so strong because nothing can actually touch you until they get rid of that buff, where the shield, it can be broken and penetrated, right? So the third skill, Divine Judgment, they actually all have this same type of ability as well, but different ones do different buffs and different debuffs. So for the Archangel, he basically puts an aura around him, and then it silences anything in the aura, and it also gains haste, periodically emitting a pulse of light that deals damage and silences enemies. And the nice thing about this is it's actually dealing damage to the enemies that are sitting in that aura. So as far as like how to gear it, I actually put mine on a dazzling set, and it works really nicely in arena offense and arena defense as well. Now another nice build for it would be to put it on adept as well, and I've kind of been messing around with the builds a little bit, and I think attack speed on the shoulder pad with HP on the glove and bracer is really the best way to do it, because the more he actually attacks, every 8th attack he'll, you know, like I said, remove it from his own, he'll remove the debuffs from his own allies, and then also he's going to be healing himself and all of the other allies that are near him with every attack while he has this Divine Judgment buff on. And all the Archangels have the same synergy trait, which is max HP of ally champions by 33%. So it's really nice as well. All right, so moving on to Zavaron, which is the Water Archangel. So to go over his skills, like I said, Sacred Spear is the same thing. Angelic Flight, it does the same thing. It jumps to a location, but it doesn't put any sort of damage reflection buff on you. So that's one thing that it's missing for the water one. But the nice thing about the water one is it actually has the better of the two second skills, which is Guardian Angel, which gives you that invulnerability like I was talking about earlier. It's a super, super strong skill. And I would kind of give the water one an edge over all of the other basic elements because it has that invulnerability skill, which is so, so nice. Now, his Divine Judgment ascends to a higher state of being, gaining haste and periodically emitting a pulse of light that deals damage and silences. So this is actually the same exact skill, skill 3, as the fire one has, and it does the same type of thing. So if you guys, again, run it with your dazzling set, it's really nice, and it's a stun machine, guys. It's a stun machine because also anytime you have a melee character hitting its basic attacks, it's doing like an AoE basic attack, so it's also still stunning at the same time, okay? And the silence, if anybody's sitting in that aura, they're silenced and they can't use any of their skills. It's super, super strong, okay? Same thing though with the with the set, I would run it attack speed, shoulder pad, HP, bracer, glove, and then you can either build it on Adept or you can build it on Dazzling, depending on how you're wanting to use it, okay? Adept is probably a better PvE set, and Dazzling is probably a better PvP set, in my opinion. All right, so moving on, we have Torelli, which is the Nature Archangel, and he has, again, the same first skill, the same basic attack as everybody else, but his first skill is the same as Zavron, which is the water one, and it doesn't really do anything. It just jumps to the location, deals damage based on his max HP, and then he has Aegis, which is, again, the weaker of the two second skills, which puts up the shield. But the nice thing about him is, well, he actually doesn't give immunity. He just gives himself haste. And I don't think he has any other debuff with his Celestial Splendor. But I just know that this is completely wrong out of the description. I'm not sure if they're going to fix the description or if they're actually going to fix the skill to match this, because if they fix the skill to match the description that's right here, which is immunity, then it actually makes Torelli a little bit more viable. But right now he actually puts up a haste and it doesn't really do any other debuff besides that. It just does the haste, and it's kind of like really not that great. So I would say out of all the Archangels, Torelli is actually the worst out of all 5 for right now. Unless he gains that immunity buff where they fix it, then it could potentially be, I would say, one of the better ones still, because immunity is super strong with the shield. It's actually really nice. Again, same leader trait or synergy trait as always, and again, same type of gear. I would actually just say, just as a straight statement, for all of them, I would rune them or gear them all the exact same way with attack speed, HP, and you can kind of mess around with it a little bit if you wanted to do more damage and do like HP shoulder pad with crit damage, gloves, and then like an HP bracer. But I would just say stick to being a support, stick to what it's good at, which is healing, removing debuffs, and if you put it on that dazzling stat, being a stun god, like I said, okay? Next up, we have Valor, which is the only one that you can use in the 5v5 PvP, which is really nice, I would say, because it has a lot of nice supports, and he's probably one of the better 5v5 supports in the game. Again, same first basic attack or basic ability, and then his first skill, again, it does the jumping thing, but kind of like with the Ardanellis, it actually has a debuff that he can throw on other people instead of having that damage reflection buff, which is really nice, which it lowers the attack power of all the enemies kind of that are in the area that you hit. And again, it still does damage based on max HP. He does have the weaker of the 2 second abilities, which is the shield, and then Divine Judgment gives the haste and the silence, which is super nice, of course. And kind of the same thing, guys, same gearing. I don't need to go over that again. But the only thing that makes me feel like the Torelli is going to get the immunity buff for his third skill is the fact that there's only one other unit out of all the Archangels that actually has immunity buff, and it would be probably more balancing if Torelli got the immunity as opposed to what he does right now, which is the haste buff. Okay, so I'm thinking they're not going to have 1/3 skill out of all the champions be like, you know, only specific to that one. They typically have at least 1 or 2, they typically have at least 2 out of the family that have that type of skill. So I think with the dark one having the immunity, then the green one or the nature one will also get that same skill. So as we get into Claytano, though, I would say he's probably one of the best units in the game, let alone the best out of all the Archangels themselves, because not only does he do the damage reflection, he also has the best out of the 2 second skills, which is Guardian Angel, that gives him vulnerability. And then he has this sick third skill that gives immunity to himself and all nearby allies. And then it also blinds enemies. So if you put him on arena defense, one of the biggest damage dealing arena offense units gets super hard countered by this blind, which is the Blade Masters. So it's super strong. Claytano, if you have one, if you happen to get super lucky to get one of these, then, you know, definitely congratulations, because again, he is one of the best units in the game, especially for arena defense. I would say still same type of build, either Dazzling or Adept. And the offset, I would say you can use it as probably Vital, or Yeah, Vital's probably the best way because his damage is based on max HP for a lot of his skills. So I would say just build it on either Adept or Dazzling with Vital offset, attack speed, HP, HP. And you guys will be having a really, really fun time with these units. And honestly, as far as the ranking as how they go, I would say the dark one is probably the best, like no questions asked. Then I would say the water one's a close second because it has that invulnerability. Then the light one, then the fire one, then the nature one. I would probably say that's the best. You could probably switch the fire one and the light one as far as how they're ranked, but still, I would say definitely these three are the best out of all of them. This one's definitely there's just like a tier lower than all of them though. Let's just put it at that. So anyway guys, that's my review on the Archangels. I hope you guys liked it. Again, if you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like the video as well. The next one coming out will be for the Blade Masters, and that should be happening very soon. So other than that guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay soupy, don't be potatoes, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.
I run away.